Hello, and thank you for joining us tonight. My name is Michael Tellerino. I'm the CEO and founder of K9 for Veterans. We're here tonight with Anthony Sa. Anthony was in the Navy and also the Army. Anthony, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Thank you for joining us today.
Good. A little bit about myself. I was in the Navy, like Mike has stated. I was there for one tour, and then I did a Blue to Green program, which put me in the Army. And in total, I did four deployments, 3 combat deployments, and I got out in 2009. Started working for Chicago Public Schools, and one thing led to another, and I got connected with K9 for Veterans through the Wounded Warrior program. Due to some of my symptoms that I was having and whatnot.
Let's back up a second. After you got out of the service, how did you determine that you had PTSD? How was it determined?
Well, they say that PTSD lies dormant for a long time, for over the years. So I got out in 2009, and I wasn't actually diagnosed until 2015. So it was some years after I got out was when I started noticing signs and symptoms, and when I went to the VA. So,
how did you go from the Navy to the Army?
I went through a program that the Navy was offering at the time. It was called the Blue to Green program. Basically, you can swap into any branch of service that was in need at the time. So, I always liked the infantry, and initially the Army was something that I wanted to do. So I picked the Army when I got out of the Navy.
Go Army.
Yep.
Okay, so now I guess your wife picked up on the symptoms first?
Yeah, so I worked like I was saying, I worked for Chicago Public Schools, and worked with kids with special needs, and more like in an urban setting. So it was real stressful, and my doctor said that at some point my job is what triggered my PTSD. Started losing hair on my facial hair and my hair, and it just started creating a lot of stress spots. I was real anxious, worried all the time, and just quick anger and stuff like that. So
then your wife suggested you go...
Yeah, so my wife said, you should go to the VA, get checked out, and us as soldiers, a lot of times we don't really want to go get the help. And
it's hard to reach out.
Yeah, it's hard to reach out, and finally she talked me into it, and we went from there.
So after you were diagnosed with the PTSD, obviously you start getting some treatment. What made you think of a service dog and how it would help you?
Well, I started looking into it, actually, and I had one of my battle buddies who already had one. I looked into a lot of different programs, and really looked into what it meant to have a service dog, and looked into a lot of programs, and I saw K9s for Veterans has a lot of stuff streaming through social medias and YouTube and whatnot, and I really liked it, and aside from that, I was alumni of Wounded Warrior Project, and they were the ones who actually gave me the heads up on K9. So
Wounded Warriors actually referred to K9. And you've been with K9 for Veterans now 3 months.
Yeah, about 3 months, yeah.
Has it helped you at that point
so far?
I know it's only 3 months, but tell us what it's meant to you so far, or your family, and how it changed you.
I haven't had a pet in a long time, and with Liberty, it's changed my life dramatically, because, she's there emotionally, as well as, does things for me when she's learning how to do different commands of, medication, stuff like that. So stuff that's real crucial to somebody who's diagnosed with PTSD and stuff.
Tell us about the training program. What's it like?
The training program is good, and it's open to as many times as you want to come in, I believe it's 9 times a month you have to make it, but if you can come more, they're more than welcome to offer the help to get your dog trained up. So, it's not like one of those fly-by-night, not-for-profits that'll just give you a dog. They really, really invest time in you and your dog. So
So it's made a difference.
Oh,
You
for
know,
sure.
what kind of effect did it have on your home life having a dog? Did you have a dog before?
I did, but I didn't have them when I had kids. And with my kids, she's real good. You know, when she's not working, she's just like a regular dog at home. You know, and until we take her out. You know, but when she's working, she knows she's working. So
You put that vest on her?
yeah, she put the vest on.
transformation is unbelievable,
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah.
I mean, they seem to just really understand,
Mhm.
you know, that when that vest is on, that it's showtime.
Yeah,
it's
she
time to-
understands. She understands that when she has the vest on, she's working. So
Well, that's awesome. I mean, you know, watching you work with your dog is amazing. I
Mhm.
mean, for someone who just started the program,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just amazing. What do you feel is the best part of the program for you as an individual?
I think that the best part of the program is the support that we get there, especially through the trainers, yourself, Reggie, you know, Johnny, pretty much everybody, you know, does their part, and it just makes it feel more homely, you know, and it's all about the dog, you know, it's all about getting the dogs trained and stuff, and getting the companionship with yourself and the dog, but it just feels real homely, and I like that.
Yeah.
So
You know, it's for me, when I see our veterans come in and train with their service dogs,
Mhm.
it just, I mean, it's just a feeling that I can't explain. I mean, when I see them advance like
Yeah.
like they do, like you're advancing,
Yeah.
and Ernie with the way he advanced, you know, is
Mhm.
turning on light switches now and
yeah, Lala.
retrieving keys and stuff like
Yeah.
that. For for him, it's just it's just an amazing thing. It
Yeah.
really does.
You know, I guess it's also, you know, the time and effort that you put into it, as far as, you know, being with your dog, getting to the training classes and stuff
That's
like
it.
that.
Yeah, you have to
You
really
know.
put your best foot
Yeah.
forward with this. This
Yeah.
isn't an easy program.
Oh no, no.
I mean,
it's-
this is something
it's-
you have to really apply yourself.
Yeah,
to.
a lot of people have told me, oh well, you can train your own dog, but you know, that's not the way that I would do it. Just because you want your dog to get the proper training, people who are, you know, trained in training dogs, you know, that's very important. So
We pull all our dogs from shelters.
Mhm.
Most of them are kill shelters, but not all of them. And what we do is, you know, we place them with the veteran. They start their training
Mhm.
from ground zero right there with you.
Mhm.
These guys learn together.
Yeah.
And I think the bonding process just means so much more
yeah,
to start them out that way. For us to take a dog from, say, a shelter and put them in our kennels
Mhm.
and have it work with just our trainers or come out and exercise them and just do what they need to do
Yeah.
to learn their basics, it just means so much more when you pair them with that veteran like we
Yeah.
did with you right
Yeah.
away. It's just a bonding process.
yeah. And when you know, like, I also looked you guys up and stuff, and they really mean what they say. I mean, your dog gets sick, it's full, you know, medical, you get your food, everything is taken care of by the non-for-profit, which is great. A lot of other places really won't do that, you know, so that's another big thing that I feel like it's like a family there.
Well, you're going to be part of our dedication, am I right?
Mhm.
On April 14th.
14th, yeah.
In Frankfurt,
Mhm.
Lockport, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to have 4 other veterans besides yourself
Mhm.
there, and we're going to be presenting you with your service dogs.
Mhm.
And we're going to have an honor guard there, and it's going to be
Oh, wow.
really an awesome ceremony. How do you feel about that? I mean, is that okay with you to come?
Oh, definitely. You know,
that.
if it feels, you know, I like feeling that sense of still kind of camaraderie with the military and whatnot. So definitely, and you know, I feel proud, especially being awarded my dog, like, officially. You know, so that'll be nice.
How does your family get along with the dog? I mean, the kids.
My kids love her. You know, my
Yeah.
kids love her. My wife, she loves her. So
Yeah.
no problems. You know.
Yeah, she's an awesome.
She's
dog.
a good dog.
She's-
Yeah, I
she's
wish
right
she'd come
here.
up here right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
But
it's
she's
a little
good.
new to her just yet. But you know what? The important part is that, you know, you feel better about what you're doing.
Mhm.
Your day-to-day life is changed.
Yeah.
You know, having your service dog, it gives you maybe some confidence that you didn't have when you go out in public.
Yeah,
by
and that's
yourself
and that's the
stuff.
thing. Like, I was always afraid of, like, going into places with, you know, a lot of people. You know, and
How's that changed now with you?
now it feels good because, you know, she blocks for me. She does all those things that, you know, you wouldn't even think would help you, and it definitely does, because it kind of keeps people, it keeps the distance from you and other people. So
Yeah, and I also talked to a number of veterans who had a service dog, and when they would walk into a crowded room, they would go to the furthest point in that room, away from everybody, and just sort of isolate themselves from everyone in that room. Because they felt that all the attention was drawn on them when they walked in a room, and it was very uncomfortable for them. But with the service dog, when they would walk into the room, they said that the focus would be on the dog. It wouldn't be on them. And then, and what I thought was a good thing, really, was that when the veterans would walk in with the dog and there'd be people there, it would force them to have a conversation that they typically wouldn't open up to other people with.
Yeah, that's a good point, because even when I take her to like Walmart and stuff like that, other people will kind of look at her, but won't, like, sometimes you're self-conscious about like a lot of people looking at you, or you're just overwhelmed with the whole thing. She does. Oh, there she is.
Look.
There she is.
There's that girl. I was surprised she got there. Say hi.
Say hi.
You okay? Yes, you are. But anyway, that's what I've gotten from a lot of conversations, that it was basically forced them to open up to people that they wouldn't typically do.
Yeah, it does, especially to talk and stuff.
Yeah, so that's a good thing, right?
Because the first thing, definitely, because the first thing they ask is, can we pet?
How old is your
dog? What kind of dog? So it opens up some decent conversation,
That's a good thing, you know what I mean? What about, what would you recommend to veterans who don't realize what they're going through, that they have PTSD? What would you ask them to do?
I would ask them, because a dog, and even a service dog, it's like having another child. It's a big responsibility, So that, first and foremost, look into that, saying, can I be with the dog at all times? Can I coexist every single minute of almost my daily life with the dog? That's big, and
it's a lot of responsibility. To have a dog to begin with. It is a responsibility. It really is.
And to the training with the dog is it demands a lot of time too.
Yes, it does. A lot of dedication.
A lot of dedication. So you got to look into all those things before you decide, do I really want to get a service dog? And just going through the loops, like getting your doctor's letter, because K9s is by the book. They do the doctor's letter, DD-214, everything. So just make sure you got your paperwork and stuff like that.
To us, it's, I know for us, it's just as important for the dogs that we rescue from the shelters, that they're placed in a good home, and it's just as important for the veteran to have a good dog. So it's we care about both. And that's our purpose, is to make sure that the dogs have a good home and the veterans are are right for that dog and stuff like that. And it's just a good fit. I mean, like I said, to see the transformation in some of our veterans when they come through that door, and they're like, oh, I don't know if I could do this.
Because even physically it helps you, because you have to walk your dog, so you take I take 45-minute walks with Liberty every day.
God bless you.
And I've noticed I've taken off a little weight, so it helps your lifestyle too, your health. So gets you out of the house too. So.
Look at it. Now that she can't stop from getting up. Well, that's good. I would, you want to say hi? Anyway, you know what? To have, just for the people at home, I'm going to put on the screen, we're K9 for Veterans, NFP. We're located at 5430 West Roosevelt Road in Chicago. Our phone number, as you can see, is 773-854-1000. You could find us at k9sd.org. If you know of a veteran who has been diagnosed with PTSD and he may need some help, have him give us a call. We'd love to talk with him and find out more about how we could service our veterans and stuff. So basically, it has changed your life. It has made a difference in your life.
Definitely.
I know that, what does she's really being happy now. So tell me some more about yourself.
Right now I'm just, I'm currently, just working on getting my dog trained up, and that's my main focus, to where the level where she's actually getting my medication and stuff, working with Kat and
That's
and
an awesome trainer.
Yeah,
Oh,
oh yeah.
Rachel's awesome.
Rachel
All our
too.
trainers.
Kat
they
and
all-
Rachel. I forgot the young man who helps Rachel out,
Oh.
but I forgot his name.
Yeah.
But they all have a big part in this, and I'm just looking to learn more as well with my dog.
Well, like I said, the improvement you've made in the last 3 months has been unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Having you guys at the center, and the center is open 24 hours
Yep.
a day to the veterans. We have a complete full kitchen there. Our veterans can come in at any time, sit, and they could just have a cup of coffee and talk, make something to eat. We have movie nights once a month for our veterans, and it's no training involved. It's just to get together with the veterans, so there's camaraderie with all the guys there.
Yeah.
It's a good program. Again, what would you recommend? Again, and I want to get back to
Yeah.
that because I'm sure there's veterans out there. I'm sure there's veterans out there that have PTSD, and maybe. Is there a stigma attached with having a service dog?
I think it's just it's not a stigma, I don't think, but it's more like a lack of knowledge. Like, the VA really doesn't put out a lot of information about service dogs and stuff. You have to go to different NFPs and just get more information for yourselves,
Right.
Or someone maybe you served with, and that's where you get good information about service dogs, So
Yeah, so you weren't worried about this stigma being attached?
No.
It's a weakness, or why do I need a service dog?
Yeah, no, I didn't really have that. I knew that she would, a dog would be a great help. So.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
you could tell she's
Oh yeah.
she's always by your side. What else would you say?
Oh, and it was funny because there was another hound. Can I tell this story? There was another hound that I wanted, and I had to go away to a residential treatment and stuff. But when I came back, they had her as a gift for me too, for a hound. So you can't really get the dog you want, but I mean, hopefully if
We
there's a
try to match.
Yeah.
Our purpose is this. When we get a veteran who contacts us, the first thing we have them do is fill out an online application at caninesd.org. After we receive their application, we make sure that it's completed, that they have DD-214, that they have a letter from their doctor saying it's a good time in their life to have a service dog. That's real important. After we do that, we do an initial contact by phone, informal interview with them, to see what they're looking for. We don't want somebody to have too high of expectations for a service dog. A service dog is not going to cure PTSD.
Yeah.
It's not. It's just going to help them get through the day with their struggles with PTSD. So after we do the initial interview with them over the telephone, we want to make sure that they're going to be a good fit for the program. And that they're looking for a service dog for all the right reasons,
Yeah.
and their expectations aren't way up there, okay? And after we do that, then we have our trainer typically call the veteran and find out what their lifestyle is. We got some veterans that are like, they're just not very active. We've got some guys like yourself that'll do a 45-minute walk, or they do a lot of outdoor activities and stuff.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that we match that kind of dog up, with that specific dog breed, with the veteran. And after we do that, we send our trainers out looking for just the right dog. We send our trainers out, and they have certain tests that they have to pass before we'll pull them and put them in our program. And and hopefully it's a good match, between the two. And not always. And fortunately, we're also Paws, Illinois. And if we can't find a forever home for their dog, if it doesn't fall into the program, what we'll do is we'll find a forever home with the family. So the dog's always with us. Once we pull that dog, it's always ours.
Yeah.
We're always responsible for that dog. And again, if you know any veterans that need help, please have them contact us. They can come in, they can talk to other veterans who are going through the program, so they can see if it would be a good fit for them. Anthony, you've been amazing to watch. You really have
Thank
the
you.
transformation that I've witnessed myself watching you train from the first day when I first met you. You were like, I'm not sure about this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not sure
Yeah,
if
it
this is
was.
going to work or not. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And that happens a lot. We have a lot of people that are, like when they come to us, well,
They're kind of shaky about it.
yeah, do I really want this
Yeah.
commitment in my life? And I'm going to tell you, after a month or so, that thought's gone.
Yeah.
They love the fact that having a service
Mhm.
dog, it's their best friend. These dogs go everywhere with you,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
I mean, everywhere.
Everywhere.
You know?
You know, the best thing is, just spending time, taking those walks, and then you could even train at home with them a little bit,
Well,
You're-
that's another
you're-
thing. We have
Oh, yeah.
Skype training. If you can't make it in for whatever reason, you could Skype with us when we're doing a training lesson, and you could train at home with your dog actually talking to the trainer and working and watching the class. So
Right.
that's another tool that we use quite a bit
Right.
for guys that unfortunately can't make it in for whatever reason. We don't want them to fall behind.
To fall behind, yeah.
So that's a tool that we use. And again, we're Canine for Veterans. We're located at 5430 West Chicago, West Roosevelt Road in Chicago. Give us a call. Number is 773-854-1000. And come in and talk to our veterans. Let them tell you what the program is like. Let them explain to you, how they feel about it, right from them, rather than, second guessing. Just come on in and talk to us, and we'll be more than happy to sit down with you. Anthony, having you in the program and having you here tonight is awesome.
Thank you.
I can't thank you enough.
No problem.
It's just, and to see this lovely, lovely girl.
Lovely girl.
Just thank you so much for coming.
No
in with
problem.
us. It really
No
means a lot
problem,
to
Mike.
us. Anything in closing you'd like to say?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, check out K9s. Now the NFP, they're just kind of doing a lot of different things as well. If you need help with anything, as far as like a claim or something like that, Mike's got people that help you out with that as well. So it's just a big family with anything you need.
We're in the process of opening an outreach center in Custer Park, which is about 60 miles outside of Chicago, and it's going to be a resource center for veterans that live, I guess, away from Chicago and have a hard time getting here, that need some direction on where they can go for certain services. So that'll be open in probably about another month. I have a caller coming in. Please put the call through. Thank you.
Hey, good evening, guys. How you doing?
Good.
How you doing, Anthony, and the other young man sitting next to him?
Doing good.
First of all, I want to say thank you very much for your help for the United States. What service were you in, Anthony?
I was in the Army.
How long ago was that, honey?
I just got out 2009.
Well, God bless you, and
Thank you.
thank you for all whatever you're doing. I hope that little Fido helps you over there a little bit, huh?
Yeah.
If we could only teach our people to be as kind and smart as them dogs, ain't it?
Amen.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say God bless you and thank you for all that you're doing. What do you think about this new war coming up, huh?
No comment.
I think we're gonna need more dogs, cats, birds, and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, but God bless you and thank you for all that you've done
Thank
for the
you.
United States, sir.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
for calling.
Good night and be careful with the snow going home. Hi.
Thank you. That's awesome. Do you get any feedback from people that about the program that you're in?
I do. They're curious. A lot of them, I belong to a lot of groups on Facebook, and they always ask about canines. Where can I get the dog? And
You know
whatnot.
what? You're a perfect example of what we want out there to show veterans that there is help for them. That the hardest part is to reach out. Is that first step.
Mm-hmm.
And saying, I do need help, or a service dog could be a benefit to us. But again, in closing, I'd like to thank Anthony for being my guest
Thank you.
tonight. And of course, his,
Liberty.
she's over there now.
Laying down.
But thank everyone for joining us tonight. And again, we're on the second Thursday of every month. And we'll look forward to seeing you. Thank you.